What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 26 of Spoiler Alert. I'm Chan Man V. And
oh, hi, Chan.
Hi, Elo.
Oh, hi, Diction. Oh, hi,
Oh,
Chan.
hi.
Oh,
Hi, Diction.
How's your sex life, Ellohime?
Why don't you have a girl, Chan? God damn it, man.
Oh, man.
And it's pretty much the entire podcast is going to be that.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna be doing
You know what's
time.
great about this movie? I didn't even need to
God.
watch it this week because I've seen it so many fucking times.
Oh, man. Have you?
And I've read the book twice, so I'm
There's
I'm
a
gold.
book? I didn't even know there was a book.
I didn't know that there was a book.
It's called The Disaster Artist. The guy that plays Mark, who was the line producer, even though Tommy didn't know what that meant, neither did he. He wrote a book about the production and then about how he met Tommy and how they became friends and like moved to LA together and tried to be like actors. It's really fascinating. It's like it's beautifully written. It's super funny, and it's just really. It was like I read that in like one sitting. It was so fascinating.
I would have rather liked to hear that the book was written like in the same vein as The Room. So when you're reading it, it's like
No, it's the exact opposite. It's got prose. It's got really beautifully written metaphors and stuff. Like it's like
I
the
winked and met
opposite.
him. Friends we became.
It's like Yoda talk.
Yeah, it's kind of Yoda.
It's so Yoda talk. Yeah.
Well, before we get into all that, what's going on with you guys? Anything new? Wow. Wow.
I mean,
okay. Well,
not
I guess
that
right
much is
into the
different
room
than
then.
normal.
Hold
Getting
on, I
ready for
just woke up. Okay.
I mean, I think we all woke up not too long ago. Gonna go see Guardians this weekend. I'm pretty excited about that.
I've heard different things about it.
Dude, I've tried
some
not
people-
to listen to anything just so I can.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
Well, that's it. I won't say anything
It's
about it.
certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm fucking going. Like,
Oh, it
is
is?
it? Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to hear because I've heard conflicting things. So if Rotten Tomatoes says yay, then I say yay. I trust them with all of my looking balls. every time.
Licking balls.
Yeah.
What about you, Ella? What have you been up to?
I just got back from Montreal and hibernated because I decided it would be really super cool to leave at like 5:30 in the morning the night after I did the broadcast with Ubisoft. So I was at the airport at like 2 a.m. After having drank a lot, because not a lot. I would say I was pretty well buzzed, but I didn't want to go to sleep because I felt like if I went to sleep, I would only be asleep for like an hour and a half, and then I'd wake up and I'd miss it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to the airport. And I got to the airport at like 2:30, and then they didn't open. They told us that we're not opening the gates till 3:30. It was like 4 in the morning by the time they opened the gates for security, and then customs didn't open till 5. So I did not sleep like at all for like 30 plus hours, and 2 plane rides later, I got home and then I just fell asleep, and I just woke up right before this podcast. So
Yes.
I hibernated for like I don't know, like.
so you're on
many
Montreal
hours.
time right now? Wait, this is the same time as
It's
you.
the same time. It's
Okay,
the
never
same
mind.
time zone. So there wasn't any of that at least, but I was just
But
like,
it's just norther.
North
northern time zone.
yeah, man, it makes you more tired in the north. Speaking of north, this is the other thing I want to bring up. Hold on, let me turn on the light up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yeah.
You are shrouded in darkness right now.
Okay, look, I'll go brighter than I normally go.
Just get a ring light, dude. They're not
I have
expensive.
them. I have like lights down here. I do. They were stuck up on the wall and then they fell. It's not my fault. Okay?
Why do you
Grab
stick
it.
them on the wall? Get a
Not my
stand.
It's a strip that's got like adhesive, so it's supposed to go on the wall, but like the paint on the wall or the bumps or something keep it from like. Anyways, that's not important, Diction. Okay.
Shut
so get this. This is the last thing I have to announce. Okay. And it's a really important announcement.
Okay.
I found out something very intriguing, and I can't keep it in. So did you guys know Google Earth, right? You know, the pictures from the satellites down on Earth, whatever. Do you know that there's like things we've learned about Earth from having that, right? Like all these things, like things we didn't even know. Like there's like this secret like forest or jungle in Africa that like the locals kept secret for years and years and years. And then like with the discovery of Google Earth, they were like, what the fuck is this forest here? Like nobody's ever, you know, discovered this. And so anyways, one of the things we figured out, all right, This is gonna blow your fucking mind, and it's 100% true.
Okay.
Cows, okay? Cows always, almost always, 99% of the time will eat and sleep north to south or south to north, but not east to west.
Yeah, I knew that.
When you knew that?
Yeah.
How
Or
did
somebody
you
told me
know
that.
I knew
Somebody told me that a
What?
long time ago. I mean, I didn't necessarily believe them, but
No, it's true. It's like 100% true. Like if a cow is eating, he was either pointed north or south. And they did some studies recently with people and where they sleep, and people who sleep east to west as opposed to north or south have like a percentage like less of REM sleep. So I don't remember what the percentage was, so I'm not going to throw that out there. But if you sleep east to west, you technically have less REM sleep, like less restful REM sleep than people.
So
who
I
sleep north to south.
Okay, so east
I
is
don't
this
even
way.
know which way I
West
sleep.
is
Let me
wait.
see.
Yeah, west is this-ish way. I definitely have my head on this side, on the east side. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like
as long
your head
you
is
can, as long as you're
Let me
as long as
see.
your head is either south or north, it doesn't matter where you lay, as long as you're in the north and south like line. So if you're east and west, you're like crossing it. But apparently, it has to do something with like the cows being able to sense the magnetic pull of the poles, or something like that.
I believe it. I believe it.
That's I
been
think I'm
nuts.
like a little off. I'm closer to north south, but I'm somewhere in between. Thinking about
it's
the
funny
way my
because
bed
like
is.
everything in my house naturally is north and south, like every bed and couch and everything. Like we didn't plan that. It just is. We were figuring it out too.
I thought that was just like a feng shui thing.
No, I know that's what I always thought too. But apparently, like, it's a thing. It's been researched. It's science. You can do your own research if you doubt me. But I was blown away by.
I have a team that does research for me. I don't do my own.
Well, of course, in your trailer, right? You know.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that, like, I guess the craziest thing to me isn't necessarily that the cows eat north and south or sleep north and south. It's that as people, we didn't realize it, even over the thousands of years that we've been, you know, like around cows and eating cows and, you know, all the mythology and shit around cows. Like, we've never just visually looked at them and went, oh, every time that these cows eat, they look either north or south. We never made that connection until Google Earths was able to show us an over-the-top view of herds.
It is kind of weird considering we've been like farming them for like eons.
Or worshiping them.
Yeah.
Eating and worshiping, like on the opposite end of the spectrum. I mean, even fucking probably. Somebody's got to be fucking cows out there. And nobody noticed this shit. We're at the most intimate and least intimate ends of the spectrum, you know? And nobody was like, man, these bitches are crazy. They're always looking north and south. So I don't know why I had to share that. It's just, I haven't talked to anybody since I've gotten back. And that's just been on my mind a lot. So I had to share it with everybody here and you guys. That's my life.
Mr. Wizard with Ellohime today.
Mr. Wizard, Jesus.
No, that's cool. I mean, that's definitely... Yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to like literally visually see all these cows in the straight lines and stuff before you realize it, and that's kind of funny.
It freaks me out, man.
Yeah,
what else don't we know?
it's technology,
what else don't we
man.
know about our animals?
I know, seriously. What don't we know about humans?
They actually did a study in Canada recently that determined that cats actually do like people and prefer them over a lot of other comforts. I'm not kidding.
I know you're not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm glad that somebody finally put science to it, because it's
seriously,
been
it's like people all
been questionable.
They're like, oh, cats are bitches. Like, no, like maybe a cat that you've never met before might not warm up to you quick enough, but like, yeah, apparently like they gave them they had like a control group, and then they had like hundreds of cats, and they gave them the option of food, water, a toy to play with, an interesting smell, and then a human, and half of them chose to go hang out with the human over everything else.
It's only half the cats in the world, actually.
Yeah, only
exactly. The other ones are like,
no, it was like more than half. It was like more than half. It was like a little bit more than half of them, like enough to warrant that being like majority of cats are not dicks, basically.
Yeah.
And then you could factor into like some of those cats might have been really fucking hungry or something, you know, like, so maybe if they weren't so hungry, they would prefer the human, you know, like, it could be like they're a little bit of factors.
There's probably, some
mostly just
factors.
shut up about dogs being better than cats and being more lovable. Okay, dicks.
We have a
My
cat.
cat's
We don't
right
have
here.
a dog. My
He's
cat's
looking at me.
amazing. I love my cat so much. My cat is the first cat that I've had since childhood, and I've had cats all growing up. Right? It's the first cat that I was like, wow, you're an amazing cat. Like you're the best cat. Like you're the best cat I've ever seen. She wants to cuddle all the time. Like whenever we go on walks, if she's outside, when she's an outside inside cat, she will actually follow us down the block. I think I might have even mentioned this before. She will follow us down the. Oh, well, she'll follow us and she'll like stay in like our perimeter and like look out and like make sure that we're okay. She like protects us on our walk.
That's crazy.
The entire time. Like she'll never leave our like
she
our
hissing
radius,
at people.
like our little circle. Yeah, like seriously, it's crazy, man. And if you like come over here, she's super nice. She wants to cuddle all the time. Honestly, the fact that she loves us so much is the only thing annoying about her. Like that she wants to be around us and be cuddled and be loved so much.
Like sometimes you need a break, dude. It's like, okay, okay.
Yeah. Like,
why you gotta be so needy?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Because it was crippled. It was paralyzed when we got it. Cora found it rolling around in the street in the rain. And when we brought it home, when she brought it home, it was completely paralyzed, completely like could not move. Wow. It was a wreck of this little kitten. And I remember we took $100. Sorry, this is a rant, but we took $100 and yeah, we're already in it. We took $100 that we had. This was right before I started streaming. It was all the money I had. And I was like, listen, we have $100. Do whatever you can. And the people there gave us some steroids and they gave us some like ear mite stuff and some flea stuff. They really hooked us up. And after that, she still wasn't moving. So we used to put her into water. I know it sounds cruel, but like it was the only thing that would get her little muscles moving a little bit because she was scared of the water. So like every day for like a couple of months, I just put her in the water with like a little floaty and she would move her legs and get stronger and stronger. And then eventually she started walking and like was able to jump around and like have quality of life because for a little while there, I thought that this cat was going to be fucking dead. Like, I'm like, there's no way this cat's gonna, we're not going to keep a paralyzed cat, you know, like there's no,
right.
It's not quality of life there. But thank God it actually did really well and came out of it. And for a long time, like walked and like had little nervous tics and like sensory shit, like would walk and then like fall over for no reason because some wiring, whatever, got fucked up. But we think her nerve system just got shocked or hit by a car or like glanced by a car or something. It was crazy, but she's all good now and she's a lovely cat. Anyways, that's my cat. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the room, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the room. Welcome to my podcast. And done talking about cats.
Well, why don't we start talking about the movie this week, which is The Room. And those of you wondering what it is, because we actually have a couple of people asking what The Room is in the Twitch chat. It's a cult classic. It's I guess a romantic drama, or I don't know, what would you describe The Room in genre-wise?
Well, you can't say
what
comedy,
is it?
right?
It's not supposed to be a comedy.
Exactly. That's
it was supposed to be a drama, and then
Yeah.
when like a year after it released and it started getting this cult following, he rebranded it as a dark comedy.
A dark comedy.
Yeah,
Yes.
even though it's not supposed to be funny, and that's why it's brilliant.
Yes.
It was 100% supposed to be serious.
And it's one of these movies,
Except for
guys,
a few of the jokes where he's laughing, like obviously you're supposed to laugh along.
Yeah. Somebody's asking like Rocky Horror Picture. So it's like Rocky Horror Picture because of, I guess, the interactiveness of it. Like, I guess people watching it, but I don't feel like
the theater experience is very interactive.
I feel like Rocky Horror Picture, though, this is worse than Rocky Horror Picture film.
Rocky Horror is like I'm not in love with that movie, but like some of the songs are legitimately catchy. Like it's supposed to be a pulp movie. Like, it was a stage production before that. It was meant to be the movie that it was. The Room is completely different. It was not meant to be this bad.
Yeah, so it reminds me of gosh, remember that Dungeons and Dragon movie that came out like 10 years ago? Do you remember?
I never watched it.
Okay.
So
I went to see that movie, and that movie was like turned into an experience where I can imagine that The Room was. We had people laughing and just like yelling out stuff like during it, and then it turned from it was like a super bad movie into just everybody in the movie theater just laughing at everybody else's reactions. So it reminded me of that a little bit. But it's one of those movies. It's where it's just so bad that it's so good.
Yeah. There's the only similarities between this and Rocky Horror. They're not like movie related. It's culture related.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a cultural thing, right? It's and that's one of the things we want to talk about is let's just fucking start here then. Fuck it. Like why is this movie so popular? Why do you think like this is a cult hit and not like so many other even other bad movies? Like why? Diction, you probably I want to hear your take on this. Why The Room?
Yeah, it's tough to I think it's just like because it's so baffling. It's like there's a good movie that exists in the framework of the movie, you know, like somewhere in there is supposed to be like a pretty decent Lifetime movie, you know, like a love triangle movie. But and so I feel like that's what makes the badness so much better. It's like, dude, you can see, even though it's baffling, the choices of like cinematography and acting and like the story structure that makes no sense and characters that pop in and out of scenes with no real reason to do so, and like all this crazy shit that happens in the end with the pregnancy that was never discussed before, and like everything. Even with all of that batshit nuttiness, you can still understand where Tommy Wiseau, like what he's thinking, like what he thought the movie was supposed to be, and that's why I love it so much. It's because he was clearly passionate about telling the story, and it meant a lot to him. It's just he's a terrible fucking writer, and no one will ever understand the way he thinks. Like one of those things.
We can talk about Tommy Wiseau in a second, but I think the reason why it got popular is it's almost like, I wouldn't say it's before its time, but it's almost like today. I don't think it would be nearly as successful, but it's just because of way back when there wasn't as many memes, you know, and things like that. And this is what The Room is. The Room is basically a freaking movie that's a meme.
It came at a pretty cool, like interesting time because like Mystery Science Theater 3000 was canceled in like 1999, and then I don't know when Riff Track started. So there's like a pretty big lull of like that getting that comedy where you know, like, of people making fun of bad movies and shit. So you'd have to do it yourself or watch reruns. And I feel like it came at a right time where it's like, holy shit, there's this movie where this is so bad. Like, where is Joel Hodgson? You know, he wasn't doing that anymore for a while. So people took it upon themselves to just like do these screenings and just fucking make up their own like rituals basically in the theater to do every time they see it.
Well, not only. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
Well, I was saying, like, it's like a perfect movie to bond with people, strangers. If they've seen The Room, like, you're in this special club, you know. Like,
that's
it's
like,
true.
It's a viral phenomenon.
Respect for that person if they're like, oh, I've seen The Room, and like, all right, we tight. We're cool. We're cool.
Yeah, we can have
it's a code of honor.
There is a entire like culture out there of people who actively seek out bad movies and watch them for
of course,
you know, entertainment. Like there's even like considered to be like rare bad films out there, and people will pay like money to get a hands on them and stuff. It's a thing. I think Mystery Science Theater 3000 really cemented it, but I think people have been watching like bad shit and enjoying it just for the lulz of it. For the meme culture of it for a long time. But yeah, I think you guys are right. I think it kind of came at a good time when everything was kind of dying down around that time. Because I remember that Mystery Science Theater was gone, and I didn't even know what Riff Tracks was until they riff tracked The Room. And then I watched The Room riff tracked, which was fucking hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And enjoyed it even more. But here's the thing though about this, and this is something I kind of wanted to talk about. I watched a documentary on, it's kind of almost the same thing, the same phenomenon, maybe not at this level, but it's a documentary about this guy who is Asian American, older gentleman, who made a movie. I think it was called like Eagles or what was it? You probably know, Diction. It was like a horror movie that this guy made all by
Birdemic.
himself. Birdemic.
Oh, Birdemic.
Birdemic.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Birdemic. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
The reason that movie has a cult following, but the reason it's not like The Room is because The Room is rewatchable. Birdemic is fucking painful to watch. It is like physically painful. Like, I got nauseous watching it. It was so repetitive and poorly shot, and just like it gave me a headache, dude. Whereas The Room, I could watch it and then rewind and watch it again. You know, like it's fine. Yeah, there's just something about Birdemic just makes it like I would never ever watch that movie ever again. I won't watch the fucking sequel or the other sequel if there is one. Like, I'm done with that movie. I watched it once. I can tell people it sucks. Never again.
Never again.
Okay, so Birdemic, so the guy who made it, they did a documentary on him, and they're like followed him throughout this whole process. And I guess at the beginning they just wanted to see like what it's like for somebody without a bunch of money to make a film. Like that was like the documentary at the beginning. But then after the documentary was done and they released the movie, you know, it had this huge cult following as well. Birdemic did. And then this guy who made this Birdemic movie, he you know, like nobody.
He's like a teacher, right? He's like a teacher for like Mongolia or something.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Thailand, I think.
Nobody told this guy that like people liked his movie because it was shitty. Like nobody told him that like, hey, your movie's successful, maybe not for the reasons that you want it to be. You know?
Yeah.
And he never he doesn't understand that. He thinks he is a legit movie maker. Like he wants deals from fucking Universal and Miramax to make his next films. He considers himself to be a successful director. And if anybody asks him, like, why do you think the, Birdemic is such a popular movie? He tells them like, oh, because of the cinematography and, because it was, so the plot is so good and, it was scary. And like, he thinks his movie is the shit. He doesn't understand that he's like the brunt of a joke kind of, in a way. And he has the documentary that I watched sort of shifts and it becomes like, hey,
what's it called? I want to watch.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Shit. Let me look it up. It
reminds me of Best Worst Movie. It's a documentary about Troll 2. And it follows it mostly follows the dude who played the dad, who's like a dentist in this small town where he grew up. And then him discovering that this movie that he did randomly, like that was like his only movie. Came back and people were like embracing it, and like, he would go to cons and stuff, and he was like completely, and he embraced this like misfit group of people that loved this movie for how bad it was, like he totally got it. The director, on the other hand, who was Italian, was not happy, and there's like a really, really uncomfortable scene in the movie where he is like berating an audience for making fun of his movie, and like getting really upset about it. Yeah, it's pretty, it's fascinating how they can like not see it. I don't know. It's like differing take. I don't know. It's one of those things like making movies is super hard. It's so difficult.
Yeah. And
so if you put like a year of your life into a film and it turns out shitty, sometimes like I can understand a person who's like the director who's in charge of everything, who like probably like didn't sleep for nights and nights, on this project.
Delusional.
Would just delusion themselves into believing it was great. Like they worked too hard for it to be bad.
Yeah,
so they think it's great, I
can totally see that. It's called it's actually a Vice.
Cool.
You guys ever watch Vice documentary? It's called The Worst Movie Ever Made? ? The True Story of Birdemic. If you just look up Vice Birdemic on YouTube, you'll see it. It's like 26 minutes. It's not very long. I used to have a huge Vice.
I see it.
Yeah. Anyways, but halfway through the documentary, he starts the documentarian starts questioning. Is that right? Documentarian? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
You got it right, buddy. Good job.
I know words.
I know words. Documentarian.
No, but he starts questioning like his involvement in this and like his, him kind of like pushing this guy and sort of, getting his work out there and everything. Because this documentarian helped him a lot getting, published and all this stuff. He thought that the dude was in on the joke. At the end of the day, he started to realize this guy doesn't get it. This guy thinks that he's a real director, and it put this idea in his head, like you guys were talking about, that like he's just completely disillusioned. And I mean, it's sad almost when you watch that little mini documentary, because like at the end he has like a big interview with like a very important like Hollywood dude that can like make the movie get made. And the guy tells him, like, listen, if we're going to do a movie, we've got to do something different other than Birdemic. We've got to go out here. We got to do this. And the guy was just like, no, that's not my dream. Like, sorry, I'm the director. Like, he basically told him, like, either you make my movie or nothing at all. Like, you know who I am kind of shit. And then like left and didn't get his big movie deal. And this guy, I just feel so bad watching this guy because he put his heart and soul into it and worked really hard. Like, the kind of work hard that you see people only have like direct passion, you know, like puts into things. And and now he's unsuccessful, you know, he owes a bunch of money, he's in debt, you know, like he hasn't made another film that's really taken off. He tried to do Birdemic too, and it didn't, you know, take. And like it's just like he was just like a big joke. Everybody kind of laughed at his movie, and then nobody like took the time to really be like, hey, your film is shit, not in a mean way, but like we like it because it's so bad, you know.
I mean, that's a movie script in itself, you know. I know this was a documentary, which was even crazier, but that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of stories that you see in movie scripts where, you know, somebody, it's like a joke, and then they're convinced of that they are this person, and then like you said, he goes to meet a Hollywood director or Hollywood producer and doesn't realize it, and then his world shatters, and he ends up you know, in some kind of crazy depression, you know, whatever it is, right? That's literally some theme of a movie. I can't even remember what movie it is, but I can almost guarantee it is.
Wait, I'm on the IMDb for Birdemic 2, The Resurrection. Here's one of the quotes.
There's a 2?
Yeah, just a second.
They did it too.
This quote is so good. Will, we should have brought Jessica with us. Rod, no, she's dead. She was bitten by that zombie. We would have brought her. She would have affected all of us. Bill, yeah, Will, he's right. That's the whole. That's the whole quote.
That's the whole quote.
What?
Wow! So the same line in every single movie.
So I guess there's zombies in the sequel. We gotta see. I gotta see Birdemic 2 now. There's zombies involved.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen the first one. So I don't want to lose any plot points. You know? No, but it's pretty nuts. Like okay, so relating this back to Tommy Wiseau in The Room, right? Like, how long do you think it took Tommy Wiseau to realize that people didn't like his film, or does he even realize even today? Dixon, you probably know better than I do. Does he even realize today that his film isn't necessarily like what he wanted it to be, that people like it because it's got such terrible writing that it makes it charming? Like, I
think he understands to a degree because he goes to these screenings in LA like all the time. Like he'll show up, he'll do a Q&A session, he'll throw footballs around with people. Like he definitely like gets it to a certain extent. I think all he cares about is that he was struggling for a while to be an actor. Like he was really, really successful doing whatever the fuck he did in San Francisco. Street Fashions, it was his company. So like he self-funded The Room, $6 million. Mm-hmm. And like in the book,
how did he make that money? Like how
in
does
the
he
book,
have, like, millionaire?
Yeah, in the book, like he like spoiler. What's the guy's name? Sorry. I don't want to Mark because his name's not Mark. Greg Sestero. You know, like Tommy would not tell him like where he came from. Like lots of personal information. He wouldn't let him look at his ID, even though they were like best friends. They hung out all the time and stuff. And then like one day he took him to the bank to go like get some money so they could go do something. And he asked the teller when Tommy wasn't there, so what? So do you know what he does? She's like, I don't know what he does. All I know is that this is like a bottomless pit of a bank account. Like he has so much money, like he will never run out of money, apparently. And
it's so weird, man. Like,
yeah,
where does it fucking come from?
It's like all he knows. He did go to his Street Fashions USA like warehouse that's on the pier or something, and that's like the closest he's gotten to like figuring out what he did. Something about like you know like a outlet where you take like fucking clothes that are like you get like worn or something.
Right.
But then I guess
it's like a flea market-ish type of thing.
Call.
No, it's like he just has stores everywhere apparently. Okay. Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
wow.
Anyway, so like I got sidetracked, but like so yeah, he understands.
He's almost like an idiot savant.
He goes to the screenings. He knows to laugh at his fucking dialogue in this movie and throw spoons at the screen and shit. But I think he doesn't care because his movie is successful.
Wait, why do they throw spoons?
His movie is successful.
Why do they throw spoons
in the background of a lot of shots? There's like pictures of spoons.
Oh,
because the art. Okay. Yeah, the art director, like she asked him like, what do you want like aesthetically in the background of this apartment? He's like, I don't know, go do something, and he gives her like a check, and she goes to like a flea market and just grabs a bunch of pictures. They happen to have spoons on them, like almost all of them.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing. I'm not getting paid enough to really care about this, so I'm just gonna fucking throw some shit I find on a rack in the background.
Okay, so this article I'm looking at right now talks about the book, The Disaster Artist, I guess is the book's name, and it says how Greg Sestero doesn't quite ever figure it out, but apparently they have. Okay, so it says referring to this guy refers to the disaster artist for clues. A Reddit user has managed to piece together an origin story that makes sense and resolves the long-standing mystery. Turns out Wiseau is probably from Poland. Okay. You can read the full explanation wherever, but basically some arbitrary searches for some relatives' names in the book connect Wiseau to a Polish family named Wiseau, likely his birth surname, and with it already being established that he's a Catholic from Eastern Bloc, blah, 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 blah.
Where's the money come from?
Yeah, it's at least. I'm sorry, I'm reading through. It's at least as easy to accept the theory as swallowing. Well, shit, that didn't tell me. Fuck all this thing didn't tell me. God, I fucking hate when things do that. It's like, hey, we're gonna tell you. Yes,
you got it. Clickbait. You just got clickbaited.
This. Okay, hold
totally
on.
got clickbaited.
I'm digging in deeper. I'm clicking on the link that takes me.
Why is so serious?
Why
in the chat. That's good.
It's really interesting because I mean it would be pretty fascinating if he was like a very successful business person, because
apparently he is.
Yeah, like, and I mean that's really fascinating because I'll be quite honest. I mean, for what I saw of the movie and just imagining him probably running this thing, I just thought maybe he was somebody that might have something mentally wrong with him. Like I'm just saying, like it might have been somebody like that, and it'd be pretty fascinating for me if he was, actually.
He's definitely emotionally. I mean, if you read the book, there are moments where you can tell he's very emotionally unstable.
Yeah, I mean, there just seems
lashes out
something
irrationally at people.
a little bit off with
he has
him.
like the emotional capacity of like a fucking 15-year-old boy. If you read the book, like if you take it as fact.
Okay. So here we go. This is the closest we have. Somebody says, where did Tommy Wiseau get the $6 million to make The Room? What did he do before fame? And this is the closest thing that came up. Wiseau has been secretive about exactly how he obtained the funding for the project, but he did tell Entertainment Weekly that he made some of the money by importing leather jackets from Korea. But of course, he doesn't go into any more details.
So he's an eBayer, is what you're saying.
Dude, this is fucking crazy. If you really think like
Tommy
Wiseau,
he's probably an idiot savant.
in so many ways is more interesting than the movie he created.
It's absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
like just himself. And so apparently it's man, this guy is like an ivory dealer or some shit, like elephants and like, I mean, he's obviously coming from Korea, I don't know.
He's a Silk Road dealer.
Yeah, he's a Silk Road
He is
dealer,
the Silk Road.
He owns the Silk Road. He is the Silk Road. But that's so crazy, like just to have that much money. I mean, you don't come into money like that unless one, you've got some huge like product that just took off, or you have an inheritance, or your family's like royalty, or something of the sort. Mm-hmm. You see that every now and then in like documentaries like The Jinx, or
there is no evidence of him having any living family.
So weird.
So he might have come to America on a big inheritance and then managed to invest it really like intelligently and
But that's like crazy. Like how is that guy that I watched on The Room?
That's what I'm
like.
That's
infinitely better off than I am because he's way.
I'm telling you,
he's
he's probably an idiot savant to some extent. He's just like super good at certain things, and art and creative things are not one of the things that he's good at all. Yet he's very passionate about it. I could see that. I could see that possibly happening, but it's amazing to me though.
There's a certain sadness
crazy
with that though, man. There's like a certain like it's like whenever you watch American Idol, like
that's a good example. It's like William Hung, like something like
that.
Right?
Yeah, like William Hung
example.
is the musical, Tommy Wiseau. Like he becomes popular for not the reasons he went into. Like he has a passion for singing, and then he goes up there and he performs, and it's so bad and so ridiculous, and they're so disillusioned that they themselves become a joke, right? And everyone laughs whenever American Idol, these people, and it's not surprising either, like to see Tommy Wiseau and other directors get disillusioned, because you see it all the time. These people get on American Idol and they'll sing And then the people will go like the judges will laugh at them and they'll be like, why are you laughing? Like, I don't get it. Like, you know, and they're like, you're horrible. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, no,
I'm not.
No, my
Exactly.
friends tell me like they tell them like, no, I'm the best. Like, even after they're being told by experts, they still say that they're great singers. It's kind of like the same thing. And I always felt bad laughing.
Delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, delusions of grandeur. And I've always felt bad laughing at stuff like that, because it's like this person who has such a passion for what they do that they're willing to put everything into it, and they just naturally do not have the talents or the gifts required. And that makes it so sad to me. And so when people laugh at them, it's like, but then you've got the other side of it where like William Hung, or whatever his name is. He made a whole fucking career. Probably made a shit ton of money.
Because he had money, and he understood it too. He understood.
Yeah, like they told him he sucked, and then he was like, "Well, I did my best." I remember that moment. He was like, "Well, I tried my best," and they're like, "We like you, William. Thank you for coming." Like it was like he just took it in stride.
Was a little different. Yeah, William was a little bit different than this whole Tommy Wiseau thing. I mean, I think your example with these very big-headed people that are terrible on American Idol is probably possibly a better example. And I'm wondering if it's kind of like that, where, you know, you have some teenager that's terrible and their mothers and their families have been telling them that they're great their entire lives and stuff like that. I wonder if Tommy Wiseau was like that too. It's just like somebody was telling him that he was amazing.
Well, imagine this. Imagine if you had somebody approach you and it's like, hey, I have $6 million to make a movie. I really want to make this movie. And you know, like halfway through filming or a quarter through filming, you realize, wow, this what we're producing is shit. You know, how do you go to that person and go?
No, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much of the book.
No, talk about it. Tell us. We're talking about the group.
Yeah, like I mean, like pretty much his only constant like companion for a while there was Greg, and Greg was pretty honest with him. Like they had a repertoire, you know, and so he would like, I guess when he gave him the script, he's like, it doesn't make any sense. He's like, it makes sense. It makes sense. And just like, so during production, people will be like, okay, like the cinematographer's like, I don't know how to shoot this. And he's like, figure it out. You figure it out. Like, what am I paying you for? Like, he was just really, really brush people aside if they gave him any feedback, and just like wouldn't hear it. He was really demanding. The shoot sounded not fun at all. Like to be on, like just felt really uncomfortable. There's a part where the entire like staff, like all the crew, are about to mutiny him until they get paid because he wasn't paying them enough on time, and like they almost a riot almost starts and shit. Like it's basically he had delusions of grandeur. He had a vision. Anyone who questioned that vision, he was like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. This will work.
Okay, he's your typical guy that ends up being like, you know, crazy billionaire and just wants to live out his dream and doesn't care about what anybody else says and whatnot. Okay.
I guess a more accurate comparison would be like the Foxcatcher documentary. You guys see that?
It's very similar.
Yeah, like that.
I saw the movie too. The movie is excellent too.
Yeah, he's so rich and he just loves sports, but he's fucking horrible at sports. So they throw these like fake wrestling matches
where he wins.
For older guys
where he wins.
But like, how fucked up would it be if like you had somebody like that in your life? Like, those are the kind of people that would like leave me with shit in my beard and like still have conversations with me without going, hey man, you've got like something in your beard. You know, like it's the same mentality. Like someone's like too nice or too unwilling to have confrontation that they'll just allow you to continue being look like an asshat. You know,
it sounds like people were trying to tell him. He just wouldn't.
Yeah, in this situation, he
wouldn't hear
like
it.
They were trying. He just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
but you see that too. You know, like where the, you know, people were just like, hey, you know, yeah, it's great, it's wonderful, but nobody wants to say you look fat in that dress. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. All right, so
sometimes you gotta.
Let's talk about like the movie itself. We've been talking everything around it and talking, you know,
around. Yeah, you guys are probably like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I'll start it off.
Before you start off, let me before you get into this, let me just ask you a question directly, Chan. What were you expecting when I wanted to ask you this specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Chan hasn't seen it. What were you expecting going in? And at the end, what did you think what'd you get from it? Just what were your reactions to the movie itself going in and then afterwards?
So going into it, I mean, of course I expected a bad movie. All right. But I had no idea. The only thing I've seen are just images of the movie. So I had no idea what any of the audio sounded like or what his voice sounded like or anything like that. So, I was just expecting a bad movie that was better than it actually was, just from the standpoint of little things.
So your worst imagination wasn't good enough for how bad this actually was.
I wasn't
you
expecting
couldn't imagine how bad.
Yeah,
this
because
was.
we've seen bad movies before, but there's still, like the transitions and things like that are still right. They're refined. They're normal. And maybe the acting's super bad or just the storyline's super bad, and things like that. But this was a whole nother level. This was like amateur hour type of stuff, it was crazy. And one of the things that got me, and I kind of want to ask you guys first, was the sound. Okay. Was Tommy's voice dubbed? Because, okay. Yeah. I feel like his voice was the only one.
Most of his dialogue was unintelligible on set, and then so he had to ADR a lot of it, and it still was unintelligible.
I know. I was like, wait. He's saying those words. He's actually saying those words, so it's not, it's not like a kung fu movie or anything like that. So why the fuck are they dubbing his voice?
Yeah, they definitely dubbed it in a fucking soundproof room, or like there's no echo or anything, so it does not match the locations whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of freaked me out at first. I'm like, okay, everybody else's voice is fine, but for some reason his voice is off and it's totally redubbed. So that kind of was off-putting at first. And then like the very beginning of it is a freaking soft porn movie. I mean, it literally is a soft porn. I mean, there's like there's like 4 sex scenes in the first 25 minutes or 20 minutes.
One of them is just different camera angles of the first one.
Yep, it's used twice when he has sex with her.
They do the second sex scene twice.
What is the song?
You are my rose, you are my rose. yeah. That's whenever that song plays in the theater, everyone sings along.
We need to start looking at the screenshots here. All right, here we go.
I would send in the way of a bullet. Through a fire of flames.
I mean, it was totally 80s porn, dude. Like the music starts like right, and there's like a like and they're not even they're like kissing and stuff. No, they're like sitting there moaning and shit.
He's like dribbling petals of flowers on her body and shit. Like
it's like the way that it's the way that somebody thinks somebody has sex in a movie and then replay, and then like it's almost like taking like an American film and then translating it into Japanese and then back to English. It's like but with a sex scene. That's what it looked like. Like when somebody's idealized idea of sex is on film, and then they did that, but then it just fucking weird and like. And then like Denny getting involved, like Denny,
god,
like,
that was I thought like, oh my god, is she gonna be like having sex with him by the end of the movie? I seriously thought that was a possibility.
He does fall in love with her.
I seriously thought that was a possibility. That's crazy. That was weird. He like jumps on the bed and they're like they go upstairs and you're like, oh, okay, they're about to, have sex or whatever. And then the kid shows up and like on the bed, and
it's never explained how old he is. That actor's like 35 when they shot this, but they make him look like he's like 60
that picture was
I have some great pictures.
Let's go home, Tommy.
We did like movie night in Discord with my subs, and Frisk, my friend Frisk, got some really good screen caps. I forget where I put them.
God, man,
I'll share them with you guys.
You can tell though that this was a super vanity project, though. Like
I mean, obviously.
It's
emphasis on vain.
Yeah. It's pretty vain. Like, it's like I want to know what happened to Tommy Wiseau in real life. Like, this is almost autobiographical, right? But I want to know like what prompted this story specifically, that he wanted to make this movie where like everybody just glorifies the shit out of him. Like he's a perfect He's a
He's
perfect
perfect.
customer.
Yeah.
He's a perfect customer. He takes in kids that are on drugs and gives them a new fresh start at college. He's the perfect lover. You know, like the mom loves him. The friends love him. How could you do this to Tommy? You know, or how could you do this to him? How could you, you know, he's my best friend. He's so cool. He's so this, whatever. And just like Lisa is just a complete bitch and for no reason and does the weirdest shit. Like,
Dan, can you cover our faces with those images I just sent through Skype? Please?
Oh my god. Okay, let me see.
God, it's just like a super vain project. It's just like if I wanted to make a movie about me and I didn't know how to do that. I've never made movies before. And I wanted to make myself look like an absolute badass that just was like taken advantage of and hurt by this evil bitch. You know, like, I guess this is the movie I would make, man.
No,
and like maybe if
no,
I
it
didn't
would
have
not
real
be
friends.
the movie.
No, but I was saying like if I didn't have real friends and like I didn't really understand how people interacted with each other and stuff like this football throwing thing. It's like somebody.
Oh,
it's like
God,
he looked up a book.
oh my
It's like
God.
almost like he read like the dummies how to
How to friend with males.
how to friend with males. Throw the football at a so-and-so degree angle towards them. You know, it's like he read
They're
this and he's
throwing
like,
it underhand most of the time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh
It's
my
so-
Like
God.
they're playing catch with the baseball, but they're doing it with a football for some reason.
on
It's
on
like
top
if
of a
aliens
building.
were to-
Who plays
On
football
top of
5
a
feet from each other?
building.
It's like if aliens were to observe humankind and then try to make a movie about humankind and a romance. Like that's what it.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
Shit, I just fucked up her overlay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And she's like the only one I wanted to see get naked, and she didn't. That's the worst part.
Oh my god.
It's like I gotta pet her. Like I just want to pet her. Oh, there we go. And this guy, who, if you watch this, you might actually
Mike.
think he's handicapped. Like, look, he's got a beard.
All right.
So that actor didn't know it was supposed to be a serious movie. Like he read it as a comedy. He got it before anyone else did. So that's why he portrays his character like such a dill hole with those weird faces and shit.
Look at this
God.
guy.
Yeah, he like when I watched it again with Cora literally looked at me and she was
man.
like, "Is he handicapped? Like, is
That's
that
what
like
it
is that
said.
character
That's what
handy?
it just
Not
said.
Tommy Wiseau.
Oh,
but
the other
fr-
dude.
the
The other dude.
Yeah, because
Oh.
every time he talks, he's got this goofy face, like, "Well, I left me underpants." You know,
Me
it's like, what
underpants.
yeah, like what the fuck?
Me
is wrong with
underwears.
that guy? God, man.
No, it was.
But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
when I watch this, it's like what I would believe aliens, like it's a movie that aliens made after observing humankind and then wanting to make a movie about us. Like
Yeah.
they throw footballs, that's what they do. And you know, they
have lots of sex on each other.
yeah, they have lots of sex on each other.
I mean,
It's just
it-
They
part
don't
of their
trust
culture.
each other.
Even Lisa's character was like schizophrenic, basically.
Yeah,
Like
man.
one scene, she's like, there's like no clues of her being, not in love with him. Like after the first scene, right? They're having sex and stuff, and then the very next scene, oh, I hate the guy, or I don't love the guy anymore, and things like that. It's just, it was
Yeah,
so weird.
And there's other stupid little things that are weird about it, like the alarm clock that goes off at like 3:26 in the morning. Like
It's under
who
the
sets an
bed.
alarm for
Yeah.
that? Like if you look at the time on the alarm clock, like the time isn't like a normal time somebody would set an alarm for. It's like 2:26 a.m. Like who sets an alarm specifically for that amount of time? Like these things were not thought about at all. Oh God. But and then just like the peppered in stuff. Go ahead.
I was about to say that the mother.
The
I
mother.
got cancer.
The mother care. She's like, I got the results. I definitely have cancer.
Don't worry about it.
It's
That's
like,
what everyone says.
Cue
Don't
the
worry
cue the
about it.
laugh
worry about
crowd.
it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We're told not to worry about cancer. We're told not to worry about cheating. We're told not to worry about your future. We're told not to like, what do these people worry about? Like, when is
Yeah,
everyone
what do they worry
wow,
about?
Things are bad. It's like Denny had a gun to his head from a drug dealer, and they're like, don't worry about it. Like, when do we start worrying about things with these people? Like, when do things get serious?
How did that guy get handled? They just dragged him out and it's like, we handled it. We handled the drug.
Yeah, we handled it.
There's literally no explanation for. There's like it's plot hole the movie. Like there is no resolution to like anything whatsoever. It's
You're not
all
my
just
fucking mother.
You're not my fucking mother.
what kind of drugs, Denny? It's don't worry
What kind of
about
drugs,
it.
Denny?
Don't worry about it. What kind of drugs? What kind of drugs, Diddy? How many of them?
Can we give it up for Chris R though for putting in the actual like the only good performance of that whole movie? The drug dealer's performance was fucking great. Was
Yeah,
so
like he had
Actually
the
wasn't that
gangsta.
bad.
He had the gangsta, the gun at first.
He did everything. He did everything I would imagine a drug dealer would do.
Yeah. Yeah. How about their
God.
apartment just having an unlocked door that anybody could just go in there at any time?
Like, yeah, it's just people in and out all day. Like,
Yeah, it's like
nobody knows
Melrose
who's
Place
there.
or something, you know? It's just anybody
Is
that
that
lives
why
in
they
the
call
complex.
it the room? Like, okay, and that's another question. Like,
Oh,
why
that's
the
true.
title The
That's
Room?
true.
You know, like just because all this, not all of it takes place in one room, but like he does kill himself in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
think
but,
when people ask him that, he just says like, "Well, the room is everything. The room is love," and he thinks it's a metaphor basically for life and love and shit.
so like in a room, anything can happen. I love how Denny is like in the corner there in that picture. Like,
Yeah.
like, I didn't even see him.
He's totally creeping,
He's so
man.
creepy,
He's
like,
totally
everyone.
creeping. Dude.
Yeah, I guess things do happen in rooms, so I guess it's a metaphor. Like,
Yeah, I'm in a room right now and things are happening. Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Get
We're
a little
talking
deep
about
there,
this
bud.
in a room. I do feel emotions here. Wow. God damn it. Yeah,
This is one of the best
obviously.
performances by Tommy right there. Look at that emotion he has right there.
Oh, apparently that took him an entire day's shoot to get right.
That one, really?
Yeah, just that one line, which was his that was his James Dean line. Like he
Oh
idolized
my
James
God.
Dean, and that was like that's basically the same thing he says in Rebel Without a Cause, tearing me apart or something like that. Apparently it took him all day to get it right. He would like flub the words, he would say them in the wrong order and shit. Like
Fucking Denny again. he's always back there. And what kind of name is like Denny? Like what
Denny.
the fuck, man? Like is that a popular name?
It's
no, it's a
restaurant.
diner.
It's a
diner
restaurant.
that's open 24 hours.
It's an IHOP competitor.
This is our friend Denny. This is our other friend IHOP.
So, you know, another thing too is, well, every time I saw Tommy, especially in the beginning, and it's like all this crazy sex. Did you guys ever think Mickey Rourke at any point with the hair and just like, I don't know, man, that greasy hair was just totally channeling Mickey Rourke for me the entire time,
Yeah,
and the wrestler
for
and all
sure.
that crazy stuff.
Except I think Mickey Rourke knows where to put his dick during sex. Because I swear to God, Tommy Wiseau had
It
sex
was-
with her belly button. He was way up on her stomach. Like if you watch
It
that
was
scene,
weird.
he's
It
like
was.
humping her fucking belly button. Like it's really, really weird. It's like even he doesn't know exactly how people have sex. Like he's very close. Like he's almost got it. Like Tommy Wiseau almost can have sex.
Maybe
he's
she
just
required
slightly
that
off, like-
just in case he accidentally slips it in. You know, it's like I don't trust you. You're gonna have to actually mount me a little higher.
It's like in the contract, like I'll do sex scenes and get naked, but you have to have sex with my belly button. It's like, all right. What a weird request.
Oh,
You're
God.
paying for it.
Yeah, the audio is really, really, really terrible in this. I mean, if we're just getting back to like the actual, like film, itself, the audio is just absolutely fucking horrible. In some scenes it's like the volume goes up and down depending on what scene you're in sometimes.
Right.
Like you can barely understand people. Things are said so quickly sometimes. The lines like one of my favorite lines, but it goes by so quickly, is when he goes in and he buys something from the store. He's like, "Hey, doggy, you're my favorite customer. All right, bye." And it's like,
I think it holds a record for being one of the quickest scenes, like single scenes in like film history.
Really?
Like not part of a montage. Like it's supposed to be a standalone scene. It's one of the fastest scenes like ever.
Really?
It goes by in 12 seconds or some shit like that, maybe less.
And he holds the roses like upside down too the entire. Did you notice that? He gets the roses from her and he literally like just holding it upside down, which was, yeah, that was a bit odd for me too for whatever reason.
It was a scene entirely to show how the community loved Tommy Wiseau as well. Like not just people, not just his friends, but he's also anywhere he shops. he's the best customer. Like he's
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh man, you're the best one, dude. Always pets my dumb dog when he comes in. I love it.
Oh, hi, doggy. You're my favorite customer. That's like my favorite fucking thing. Okay, bye. And he's just gone, man, like as fast as he came.
But it's the timing of "okay, bye" is hilarious. You're my favorite customer. Okay, bye. I mean, it's like literally right out.
Chan, please do more lines from Tommy Wiseau.
Oh my god!
Come on, say you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I can't do it if you ask me to try at the spot. I just have to do it.
Put him on the spot,
dude.
I can't do it.
I can't do it
Chan.
right off the spot. I'll do it at some point in the show. I promise you. It just has to go off of you because I don't remember his voice.
Chan, I guarantee you that you're not going to be able to get it no matter how long we wait. Okay, so you might as well just jump it. No, we'll wait.
Yes,
whenever you're feeling it.
Yes,
during
you
the
will get it.
podcast.
I promise you, you'll get it.
Yeah.
It's just I have to go off. It's like inspiration. Once I get inspiration from one of you guys, then it'll come out of my
I want
mouth.
to love you, Chan, but I can't. You know what they say? Love is blind. Do you know about life, Chan? I'm fed up with this world.
Oh man.
So let me ask you guys.
Oh man.
Somebody who's never done, like, never made a movie before. Do you feel like his just when we're talking about the actual like cinematography, right? Do you feel like his camera shots were good, bad, terrible? Like, I feel like as somebody who's never done a film before, he did actually okay with like the camera and the scenes and everything. It's not like, I mean, as good as it can be for a movie like this, but it's not totally.
It's not the worst.
I'm
thing
never
about the
totally
movie.
lost about where we're at, you know, or like, you know, what's happening here, you know, is maybe in question, but never like, you know, I see the scenes, you know, them going upstairs, the establishing shot, the intro shot into, you know, pan to the bed, you know,
Right.
I felt like all of that was actually fairly okay. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought the camera angles and the, I mean, cinematography, I guess, to an extent. I mean, there were a lot of city shots and things like that. I think overall that wasn't the worst, the total worst part of the movie. I mean, the worst part of the movie was more the editing, in my opinion, and how everything was put together. But you're right. I think the camera, it's just like, I knew what was going on. I mean, everybody was on.
You know they filmed it simultaneously with 2 different cameras.
Okay.
He
Really?
bought a fucking 35 millimeter film camera, which is expensive, and then a digital film camera,
which is even more expensive.
and then he fucking made this mount where he puts them together, and they filmed both
from the same angle?
From the same angle simultaneously.
Oh my god!
And it's still to this day the most baffling like film choice. It's like they're never gonna match like lighting, like aesthetically, like texturally, they will never ever match. So why would you ever fucking do that? And so most of that $6 million budget was like film reel and like those cameras that he bought. But most times when you make a movie, you rent the cameras because they're really expensive. You rent them for the shoot. Costs you way less money. But yeah, Tommy Wiseau decided to do this weird experiment.
So what do you mean by they won't match? Because I mean my whole thing,
because they have different types of lenses, and just the sensor and like a digital camera is completely different from what you'll get with like film.
Oh, okay.
Like 35 millimeter film is like there is no max resolution. You can blow that up to like whatever and it'll look fucking crisp and awesome.
Oh,
digital is limited to whatever that can film. So if it can only get a 1080p or 4K, that's its limits. You can't bump that up and make it look that much better.
Right.
So like, yeah. And like, so, and they've taken light differently, you know, like, it's just like, there's no reason to ever fucking do that. Like ever. And like they had 2 cinematographers. The first one walked out halfway through because he was so baffled by the things he had to do. But yeah, both of them were like, this doesn't make sense. He's like, just do it. Just do it. He's like, okay. All right, I guess.
So weird, man. It's such a weird. Do you think there's gonna be? Do you think that like every generation needs like the Room? You know, like like a cultural phenomenon. You know, outside.
Sure.
You think that we're gonna have like more The Room type movies in the future? Like, so we had Rocky Horror, right? And they have that
Sharknado
kind of, like, atmosphere. Yeah, but do they do like Sharknado?
No, Sharknado. I have a huge problem with Sharknado because they knew it was bad.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
talked
thing
about
with
this
sci-fi
already.
movies.
Yeah,
They know it's bad, and that takes away from the magic of it being a good movie, a good bad movie. You know, if they know they're making a shitty movie with the intention of getting that cult status, they are fucking shysters and grifters, and I hate them. They're hacks.
I can respect
Sharknado's
that.
a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and it's
I can respect that.
so you think that in order for movies like this to be successful, the person creating it must not know that what they're doing is actually bad. Like
it can't be self-aware. If it's self-aware, then it ruins the fun. You know,
like as bad as Tommy Wiseau is, it's still endearing. Like, you know what I mean? It's the whole William Hung thing.
That's the thing.
It's the whole William Hung thing again.
He was sincerely making a movie he thought was good, and that's why it's like tearing it down and making fun of it. You don't feel like you'd feel worse, I guess, if he wasn't in on the joke. But he is like he loves the attention it's getting. So it makes it more fun to like go to the screenings and make fun of it with your friends, you know?
So if this movie was made exactly the same way, but Tommy Wiseau just knew what he was doing, you don't think it would have taken the way that it did, like culturally?
No, definitely not. If people knew that he was making a bad movie on purpose, then I don't think it would have gotten viral or anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't have spread.
There's a bunch of movies out there.
It might have had a little bit of a cult following, but once people found out that it was like, oh, it was supposed to be bad, that's not fun. Like, I agree.
I guess I just really didn't think about it in those terms, but you're absolutely right. Like they have to like,
because that is like a thing now. Like, especially like after Troll 2 and The Room, like it's mostly Sci-Fi Channel's doing it, and a little bit of the Asylum, the Asylum.
Mm-hmm. No, I have no idea.
What they do is every single one of their movies is funded with $1 million, like pretty much exactly $1 million. They usually use the same directors, actors, crew, and all that shit. But what they do is if there's a popular movie that they know is going to make a lot of money at the box office, they will make a copycat movie with a very similar title. And it will go straight to VOD or DVD, and it's basically made to fool people into purchasing or renting it because they think that movie was released early on DVD. So, like Transformers, they have Transmorphers. Pacific Rim, they have Atlantic Rim.
Just like
porn
titles.
When I worked at Blockbuster, that was all over the place.
Crazy.
Like there was
Snakes on a Train was the first one I noticed. Snakes on a Train was their first, I think, one of their first ones they did.
Snakes on a Train. Oh,
so you think people just accidentally watch these movies thinking that they're getting the real thing? Because I know for a fact when I was working at Blockbuster, which is a thing of the past now, but when I was there, people would go up and rent, like Pirates instead of Pirates of the Caribbean, or
that's them too.
and they would go and they would go, oh, they go rent it, and I would almost want to go, hey, do you know this isn't
you got the wrong one, guys.
Yeah, and I said it a couple of times and they had no idea. Like they had no idea. They were like, oh damn, it's not. I had no, but you don't want to insult them because you want to be like, well, you rent what you rent, whatever, but it's like, hey, this is a shitty film, right? Like that this you know what you're getting into, like, but it's kind of rude and presumptuous. So I only a couple of times said something, but those people that I did say something to, like, were thankful because they had just simply made a mistake.
They would have wasted their money. Trust me, I've tried watching those movies, and they're like Birdemic. They're worse than Birdemic because they're made with such like speed and like low budget that like they don't even try. They don't even try to make it good bad. It's just bad.
I know, and that brings up a good point. JB in the chat says releasing movies that the producers know are bad is borderline con artistry. And it kind of is. So like, why is it facilitated by like Blockbuster or Netflix or any of these places?
All they got to do is like what they pay Blockbuster to like put their shit on shelves or something like that. I'm not sure how video rentals work.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Like if I owned Blockbuster like back in its heyday, and I was trying to put films up on my on my counter, say I just owned one store, right? If this like fucking knockoff bullshittery came through my line, I'd be like, I don't want this on my shelf. Like, this is just trying to trick people. Like, I don't want people to rent a movie and then get pissed at me because it's not the movie they wanted. Like, I'm kind of part of that process, right? I just wouldn't allow it at all. So I wonder how these things even like get out there knowingly.
I wonder if you're required to, like, maybe like if you're, Blockbuster as a franchise, you have a distribution of movies that you have to put on your shelves. Like, I don't think each franchise gets to pick and choose exactly what movies to put on their shelves.
I have a hard time believing that, like, if you have a business that you can't say no to a product, right?
Yeah.
Like, you should be like, if you have a business, you should be able to have the power to say no to a product. You shouldn't have to, like, it's not like affirmative action for movies or something. Like, we have to include one bad movie.
It's more of those things where like Blockbuster made a deal with these production companies, and like part of the deal is that you have to distribute these movies. That's
okay, I can see that. Yeah. So just with the companies themselves, but then like I assume like at some point you'd find the ones of ill repute and say, hey, this isn't necessarily.
Well, they come and throw you $1 million or $5 million or $10 million. You're gonna do it just because it's like, okay, they're just giving me money and nobody's gonna watch this movie anyways. But
well, I would for sure. I'd sell out 100%.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
selling out. It's
that wants to make a movie and sell them at my house, in front of my house, like a lemonade stand for $5 million. I'll do it. It's Guardians of my Galaxy 2.
Guardians of my Galaxy. Change one word. Yeah. Exactly.
Guardians of my Galaxy 2. The galaxies unite. There's something like that. We'll get it done. We'll sell it right out front.
Okay, so let's talk about the last scene. Okay, like it's literally
everything's worthless.
2 minutes, yeah. Why, Lisa? Like just crap like that, right? That's all he's doing, like the last 2 minutes of the movie, and then he ends up shitting himself. So.
I asked Cora if she could predict the end, and she thought that either Mark or what's his name would shoot, one of them would shoot each other and kill each other, like in the fight, which makes a lot of sense, right? That it
I
gives
thought so
Mark
too.
Purpose and all that stuff, but then the end of it, we just see him wreck his place, like really fucking wreck his place, and then
no retakes on
pull
that.
Out a gun out of nowhere, and then like shoot himself while just mumbling to himself about shit. It's like, did she just like break him like as a person? Like it's just but then like at the end they all like show up there like, oh Johnny, and like giving him hugs and like, kissing him and stuff, like we loved him, and like she's there too pretending like she still loved him and shit after basically driving him to that. Like I just thought it was so weird that she was even there. Like I think she tells Mark at some point to like stop. He's dead, like trying to have some.
He's gone. Now we can be together. At one point, she even says, "Now we can be together."
Yeah, she's like trying to convince him that they need to get together, and then he's like, "Hey, man, like he's fucking dead right here. Like, why don't you show some respect?" And then she's like, "I loved him." Like it's like so weird. What the fuck, man?
No, and then they're like, "Just let's go and let's just let what's his name what's the boy's name again? Denny. Let's just let Denny, be by himself." And then they get to the stairs and they come back again. Like they don't even leave.
Yeah. That's right, man. Well, if I could sum up Denny's performance in this, I would say that it's a grand slam. You get it?
Yes,
I get it. Grand slam. No,
I get it.
Chat, did you get it? It's a play on words and restaurant menus.
Yes,
it's pretty good joke. I don't see anyone laughing in the chat just yet, so
yeah, no,
it's 15-second delay.
Yeah, so I mean, but once they get it, they definitely will laugh. I know they will. Any minute now. They must not. Nobody got my joke because it's funny if you think about it.
I also love how when it's at the party, right, and she sends everybody outside. Lisa sends everybody outside, and then she just immediately starts like getting naked and shit. Like the door's not unlocked, and people can just come back in. Like
literally outside,
crazy.
Like, you know what? We're gonna go inside and have sex real quick. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? I sent everybody outside.
Anyone can walk in, and
somebody does walk in. Surprise!
And they do. Oh yeah, the replacement for Peter, because the actor couldn't come back for some reason. I forget why.
Is that what it was?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, like
that was supposed to be
Peter.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was supposed to be Peter. The original guy in the middle of the movie. Wow.
Why you always play a psychologist?
Yeah, they didn't give that new character a name, but like he shows up out of fucking nowhere. Clearly, And like he's like super invested in all their relationships. So clearly it's supposed to be the replacement Peter, like obviously.
Dude, my favorite scene is when it's what's her name? Lisa and her friend outside at the party. Like after they're caught by the dude, they're outside of the party and she's like, I'm not really pregnant. Like she's like having this girl talk with him. And like the camera zooms out a little bit and like he's there like over the other girl's shoulder, like this is fucked up. Like he's suddenly like involved entirely, even in the girl talk like section. He's just standing there listening, like, I can't believe Johnny. Like, like I can't believe what you're doing to Johnny. Fuck this movie.
Yeah,
So
where did the pregnancy thing come from too? That just came out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere.
Oh, by the way, guys, we are expecting too. It's like
we're expecting.
what?
Expecting what? Listen, I'm pretty sure that Tommy Wiseau does not birth children. He, like anybody that has sex with him, their children hatch. Okay, like it's not even a normal process of reproduction with this man. So I don't know. He's
that scene right there. Oh my god.
That scene of him like holding Denny.
Yeah.
But you know, there's one thing I also want to talk about with this film is like it's kind of Napoleon Dynamite-ish, sort of quotability, right? You know, like the first time I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was all right. There's a few scenes that I laughed and whatever, but it's really like the joy of the movie comes afterwards when you start quoting it with people. And like Diction said, you have sort of like a secret connection of people who have watched The Room. So when I'm live on a broadcast, every now and then I may go, you know, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. Yeah. And somebody goes, oh, The Room, you know, that kind of thing. But it's I think that one of the things I love the most about the movie is just how quotable. I mean, there's so many quotable lines. I just pick of a list of 100, you know, and any of them are almost immediately recognizable by people who have seen the movie. Like if I walk up to you and go, oh, hi, Chan, you're going to go, you know, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if I say, you know, you're tearing me apart. Or if I say, you know, I'm fed up with this world, you know, or, you know, any of those things. Like, it's just like, do you know Life, Lisa? You know, like any of those, you're like, oh, shit, it's The Room. It's so quotable. There's a sort of, now I wonder if any of that was intended at all, because the only reason it makes me think that it might have been intended to be so quotable is because there's so much of it that's quotable. Now, is it quotable because it's entertaining and whatever, or is it just the way that Tommy Wiseau says
it's
things?
only quotable because it's Tommy Wiseau saying it. If it was the other guy, Greg or whatever his name was, yeah, it's Greg, right? Yeah, if it was Greg Sestero,
that's his real name.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Mark or whatever, that would never be that would not be quotable. Like I don't remember a single word Mark said that was quotable from the movie.
It's clear.
I don't even remember that. Like,
you
what is that?
When
no,
they're like, oh,
no.
the drug dealer. Like, what happened with the drug
dealer?
It's
clear.
Like,
it's clear.
It's clear. And they're like, what's clear? And then they just walk off.
Yeah,
that I remember. Like, it's clear. But I mean, I've seen it a couple of times now. I'm sure Diction come up with more lines. Than that.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just Tommy Wiseau's speech pattern.
Oh, for sure. And his accent, and he's got a very odd accent too.
Yeah, he really does. But is it an accent? Like, is it just like broken
accent.
English accent?
It's an accent.
No, it's a straight up accent.
I don't know, man. You think he's like? Part of me feels like it's like put on, like maybe it's like enhanced for the movie or something. Like if you were to talk to Tommy Wiseau in real life, you would be able to understand him better than in this film.
I've seen interviews. That's just how he talks, man.
All right, I'm wrong.
Not
how he talks.
Not surprised at all.
I did read a story one time about Tim and Eric, and then this is a story I read years ago, and I'm probably going to butcher it. But the idea was is that they wanted him on Tim and Eric Awesome Show, which apparently he did eventually go on the show.
He's Pigman. I am Pigman.
Yeah, I am Pigman.
He did that? Oh,
yeah.
I have to see that. That's awesome.
Oh, it's pretty bad. But they say that they like went to dinner with him and that they noticed that he was wearing like 3 belts. Like 3 belts on his,
he wears a bunch of belts
on his waist. Yeah. And like once they went to dinner, they were like, they ordered whatever. They're like, you know, halfway through the meal or just got done with the meal waiting for dessert. And Tommy Wiseau's like, hey guys, you know, I have to go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. So Tommy Wiseau goes to use the bathroom And then when he comes back, they notice that he's wearing 7 belts now. Like he had like extra belts on him that when he went to the bathroom, he added extra belts to his belt loop in between the meal. And like this thing that I read was like Tim and Eric trying to figure it out. Like he went in with 3 belts and came out with 7. Like why? Like how? Where were the belts? Why did he put them on? Like the whole confusing situation. I felt like it was the best way to sum up Tommy Wiseau as a person. He's the kind of guy that when you go to dinner with him, he'll wear 3 belts and then halfway through he'll be wearing 7. Like there's like no rhyme or reason for it. Like it makes no fucking sense. But they talk about that story and I'm just like, man, this guy is just 100% him all the fucking time.
That's awesome. And again, that's what makes it endearing. Is because that's actually how he is. If it was all an act, it would not be as cool.
Yeah, I guess, man. Dude. I want to spend like a week with Tommy Wiseau. I just want to like just hang out with him for a week, just see what it is that he does in his day to day, or what he does for fun. Like if throwing a football isn't what he does with his friends to like hang out, what does he do? Like cocaine, I guess. I don't know. Lots of drugs apparently, but I don't know, man. I just feel like if I want to spend a day with Tommy Wiseau, if you had the opportunity, Chan, to spend like a week with Tommy Wiseau, would you do it?
I don't know about a week. I'd spend a day with him.
A week's so wild.
I would spend a day with him for sure.
You would spend so a week's too long. You're
yeah, I mean,
like you would turn down the opportunity if they came to you and said, "Hey, you have like if you can hang out with Tommy Wiseau, but it has to be a week." You're like, no. But if it's like a day, you're like, yes.
I would take him to the zoo and I would just watch him like describe the animals and shit. I would just like observe how he reacts to the animals.
Where would I?
Oh,
take
what is
him?
that? Anteater? Oh, he only lives on ants.
Oh, how sad! Look,
that elephant! That elephant has a big dick.
And then like awkward laughs in
Capybara? What is that? Big mouse? Ha
ha ha ha ha! You know what they say? Love is blind.
All right, we got some callers. Let's pull some
of these
guys in.
All
right, let's get all right, we got Louis again too, and Orking. We've got Elder Evil for the first time too. Let me see if Elder Evil wants to hop on first.
Yeah, let's get him on here. I want to hear what they have to say so bad.
I'm sure there's
I want to know what they could possibly want to talk about.
Oh man. All right. Let me make sure he's not.
I would spend a week. I would spend a week with Tommy Wiseau.
I think at most I could do 2 or 3 days.
Okay,
I could not.
Would you let him near your daughter though?
Oh God. I mean, what do you mean by letting him near your daughter? What do you mean by letting him near your daughter?
I'm not suggesting he's like a deviant or anything, but just like his like how abrasive he is and like he has no filter and stuff. Like, would you want your kid around that?
Oh,
only her in her adult life. I feel like she would be too influenced in her child. Like she would start talking like him, like. Oh, hi, Dad. Oh, hi. And then like, ha ha. Like, she fucking laughing weird and shit. Yeah. Not for like sexual indecency, but
he's like the
speech pattern. For
like
speech pattern recognition.
Type of thing. Yeah. All right, here we go. We got Elder. All right. Elder Evil, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the show. Oh, hi.
Oh, hello.
Why don't you have a girl, Evil?
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Well, do you know what he's quoting?
I got nothing. I got nothing, guys.
So what's up, man?
The question I have is you have a guy, you have Tommy, and he's a very like I think he's generally seen as like a sweet, endearing kind of dude. Mm-hmm. And compare that to like another director, say like Uwe Boll, for example, who also makes not so great movies. I think everybody could generally agree, but Tommy gets movies. He still gets movies crowdfunded. They did Samurai Cop 2. He hit his Kickstarter goal.
True.
Meanwhile, Uwe Boll tries to make a Kickstarter movie that falls apart, and then he goes on a YouTube rant.
That's exactly why, because Uwe Boll hates the people that watch his movies or don't watch his movies. Like Uwe Boll is another like classic like delusional dude who thinks his movies are amazing. He'll go on tangents saying that like fucking Blood Rain was better than like Shawshank Redemption, like really weird comparisons of his movies and shit. Like he thinks that they're all like culturally relevant and important and stuff. It's really fucking bizarre. But that's why he didn't get Kickstarter funding, because people don't like Uwe Boll. People love Tommy Wiseau because he embraced the culture around the room. Uwe Boll has always lashed out against his critics. He even held a boxing match with a few of them.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Oh
would
my
challenge them to boxing matches if they
Which was
wrote
stupid
crap
because he
about
was
his
an
movie.
amateur boxer, so like no one won except for like he was like it was just completely biased. Like he was gonna win no matter what because he was a boxer, and none of them. One of them was like an 18-year-old kid.
Good. I hope you whip the shit out of that kid.
Don't you? Yeah. Sex Boy 69, you said my movie's shit. I'm gonna punch you in a ring.
Yeah, it's like the
Hey,
end
man.
of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they go through a list and they just beat the crap out of
Yeah.
every.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
exactly
I was
what
just
it
about to say.
is. That's
But
exactly what it is.
listen, if I had the funds and the technology, there are definitely some people I've run into in the last 4 years of streaming that I would be like, yep, let's hop on a plane. Let's go find this mother. Are you, Ellohime's neckbeard 69? It's like, yeah, well, who's asking? How many people want to kick some ass? Just, bam, kick him in the fucking stomach. Just that whole scene. I would do it.
Kick him in
I
the
would do
nukes.
it, man. I would do it. I would kick the shit out of Twitch chat. I would
Yeah.
beat the shit out of you. You hear that, Twitch chat? Come fight me in real life. But answer your question. I think that anybody can appreciate somebody who has a passion for something, right? Even if they're not good at what they do, I think that as long as they're humble and good natured about it, that people can kind of get in their ring, right? Like even the most mundane shit. Like if I just see somebody who's just, even if it's something dumb, like underwater basket weaving, if I see that somebody really has a passion for underwater basket weaving, and that's just what they want to do, even if they're not good at it, even if it's a fucking boring subject, I think it's refreshing to see people follow their dreams. And if they're a halfway decent person, and like I said, humble and, you know, even fun, even, I think that people can respect that, even though it's not, they don't necessarily put out the best quality products. They know that the person that's coming from is genuine. And I think that people can get behind that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think why this type of story, you know, like Tommy Wiseau's story is so I don't know, endearing and, you know, ends up being popular and whatnot is because, like, normally whenever, you know, this type of thing where somebody has like this dream and they what a lot of people say, waste their money, you know, making like these movies or whatever they are, you know, that they're not necessarily good at. That happens all the time, you know, and most of the time we call those people dumb, you know, or stupid. Like what were they even thinking? But it's nice to see every once in a while that the universe just lines up, the stars just line up, and something like this ends up becoming a success when almost every other instance it is completely the opposite. So that's why I like these, you know, this type of story and seeing the movie, and I mean that's why these things become cult classics. I mean, what cult classic in this that, you know, is not like this? I mean, like, are there any cult classics that are at least in the same vein that are not similar in this way? You know, that's just like terrible, but, you know, we all like it because of just the creator or just because, you know, it wasn't intended to be like that originally. There isn't, right? There's yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, for me, that's why the room and just generally these types of stories are really cool to me. And I mean, that's why I like watching, you know, you brought up American Idol. American Idol is like a great example, but sometimes, you know, there are people that actually have talent that actually get through, you know, and they've had the opposite happen to them. So both sides of it, I think, are interesting story dynamics.
I think you get that with streaming though a lot too. I think that there are people out there that have been streaming for that have been streaming for years and years that I personally like. I don't think that their broadcast is the most, you know, interesting or funny or entertaining, but I watch them specifically because I know that they love what they're doing, and I know that they put in, you know, long hours and even years sometimes of you know, and especially when they're holding down another job to pay for bills and they're doing streaming on the side. You know, like I have so much respect for that. And there's a lot of the people that I watch like on stream are not what you would consider to be successful streamers, but I appreciate them as a person, people I've met at conventions, stuff like that. that you know, I can get behind their product or what they're doing just because I know that they're cool people and I know that they care about what they do and they have fun with it. So I think that that's probably the only place that outside of like, you know, The Room or Tommy Wiseau that I actually feel that way. Like you don't really feel that way about like movie actors or comedians or
what about
like
games?
that.
What about game makers? There's plenty of people that play games and think they can make games, right? And there's tons of failed projects. Do we have an example of a game like that? I mean, there's definitely examples. I just can't think of them right now.
Deadly Premonition.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a very good game, but it's so batshit crazy and weird that it became like a cult classic for sure.
I'm actually Googling this because I know I could come up with
There's
some.
There's gotta be another one that's more famous. That I just.
Well, Shaq Fu.
Oh, Shaq Fu.
Yeah.
Okay, Shaq Fu. Yeah. Shaq Fu's a good one.
What was it? Daikatana?
Daikatana.
Romero. Yeah,
that's a good one too.
I think Blood Rain or like even like Manhunt are like they weren't necessarily good games, but they're so fucking crazy that I enjoy them.
Yeah, they definitely have a cult following for sure.
Well, I mean, I even think Duke Nukem to a degree. Like
no, Duke Nukem was just good. Yeah, that's that.
No, but see,
Duke
just
Nukem good. Come on.
No, Duke Nukem had one good game, like one.
Yeah.
And
but
since then,
it was still
it's
good.
never had a good game. But even that was like at the time, it wasn't necessarily like good. It was just different.
I'm gonna,
I'm
gonna rip off your head and shit down your throat. I mean, the lines in that. I don't got time to play with myself.
I mean, you're like, I'm gonna rebuttal this so hard that I'm gonna rip off.
No, I mean the lines in Duke Nukem were like Evil Dead lines. I mean,
it had
like
an attitude and a pulpy like attitude that was not seen in video games. So it was original, but it was original like conceptually and like the way they like presented like the character. But as far as gameplay, yeah, it was just doomed with like a little bit more climbing.
Sure, yeah.
I just think that like Duke Nukem is one of those things that it's like quirky and fun enough that the gameplay, even though it's not like the best, that people will play it and have fun with it. Almost like the same with this movie. It's not the best movie you've ever seen, but it's funny and it's quirky, and so you enjoy it by the end of it. But like Duke Nukem has a huge following. Like everybody who plays video games pretty much knows what Duke Nukem is, right? But how many Duke Nukem games can you really say are good? You know, like.
Well, how many have they had? They only had
a
2.
lot.
Right? Have they?
No,
yeah, they had a few.
Did they have they? Because I only remember the second one coming out like 15 years after the first one. So it was because it would just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So I didn't realize they had a bunch after that because the second one was terrible.
Duke Nukem 3D and it was Wolfenstein with boobies.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was.
Really?
I do believe that part of the draw was the fact that it had near nudity. It had the most nudity in like a video game that we had seen like in all time. I think that definitely had to do with it. But also the Evil Dead one-liners and stuff. I don't know. I feel like Duke Nukem, if you still like Duke Nukem today, like if you're a Duke Nukem fan, you are like you know, that is like cult presence.
It has cult presence, but I think Duke Nukem as a game itself was a successful game. Like there were a couple new elements to it. I mean, there were pipe bombs with the cams, and there was the, you know, again, like the copy of yourself and the jetpacks and stuff like that. But overall, it was still a well-produced game. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a crappy game by any means. That just happened to have some comedy, you know, incorporated into it that ended up becoming, you know, cult legend type of thing.
All right, so I'm looking at a list of all the Duke Nukem games. Main series, Duke Nukem 2, Duke Nukem 3D, plus the Plutonium Pack Atomic Edition, Duke Nukem Forever. Spin-offs, Duke Nukem Manhattan Project, Time to Kill,
I didn't even
Band of
know
the
they
Babes,
had all
0
these.
Hour, Advanced, Trilogy,
Crazy.
Game Boy Color, Mobile, Bikini Project, Critical Mass, Chain Reaction, Proving Grounds, and it's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah,
and then there's other games that just feature Duke Nukem as a character, like Balls of Steel, Bulletstorm, Death Rally, and stuff. And that's not even expansions or anything. That's just titles.
Gotcha.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like out of all those, we played one of them and liked it, and they've gone on to make this many fucking games. People still play them, I assume. Anyways, I rest my point.
So we got a couple other callers, so we're gonna let's just try to pull some of those on. Thanks, Elder, for
no problem.
The great addition there. Okay, let's get Aura King in here. Hope he's ready. I'm just gonna pull him in. What's up, Aura King?
Oh, I'm back.
Yep, you're back. It's kind of
Hi,
surprising
welcome
you a
back.
little bit. So you got a question for us today?
Yeah, that and a little bit of a somewhat rant.
Okay.
Back when you guys were talking about the girl, like she was starting to fall in love. What the
Mhm.
heck was with the scene and the scene where like they just dropped like they didn't try and tell her like how to bring back the passion and all that crap. She's like just cheat on him.
Yeah.
Wait,
You mean
what?
her friend? You're talking about her friend?
Yeah, back when she was meeting her mom and that friend in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird because they come to Johnny's defense, right? Tommy Wiseau's
Yeah.
defense. They're constantly like, he's such a good guy. He has security. He, blah 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 blah. But like they're so enabling of her behavior at the same time. It's like it's very strange. Like on one hand, they're like, Johnny's the best, but they're not willing to go, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this to him. Maybe you should like seek counseling, or maybe there's other options here. The friend does say, oh, this is so messed up, and then like almost encourages it in like the next scene, like, what have you done with Mark? Like it's very weird. It's almost like she was playing the role of the friend that's like trying to be supportive of their cheating friend or whatever, and while they disagree, they're still like best buddies, but at the same but also trying to mix it in with making her seem sympathetic to Johnny at the same time, which doesn't translate at all. It's like two really weird opinions, and they just kind of sort of clash, and that's the room.
Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, the friend was, that's crazy, Lisa. I could never do that.
Yeah.
And then you're right.
I could never be a cheater person.
Yeah.
But then she like has no problem with it. Like,
yeah,
she's
then
all,
she's like,
wanting to know.
It's like, and she's just like
Oh,
laughing.
you're so
and,
bad.
Yeah, you're so
Yeah,
bad.
you're so
Exactly.
bad.
That's
Yeah,
a good one.
yeah.
That's a good one.
It's like, don't do that. You're gonna break his heart. Oh, but I sucked some dude's dick. Oh, you're so bad.
so- You go, girl. You go.
Yeah, it's so yeah, you're like, you go, girl. You do your thing. You're an independent woman. But what you did to Johnny was wrong.
You need to
Oh,
tell
but
him.
you.
I agree. I totally agree. Working.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the part that just got me. I'm like, what the hell? They didn't even try to help her. Just like deal. It was either deal with it or cheat on him. Nothing more.
Yeah, well, I mean, we wouldn't have much of a movie if like
True.
she wasn't schizophrenic and like actually, talk to her partner. And like, I think the weirdest thing is like out of nowhere how she like, he mistreats me. And then like, it's like right to the worst fucking thing. He hit me. He hit me. Like, it's so substantiated, like so like unsubstantiated. Like there's no way, there's no mark on her body. There's no reason he has to hit her. Like it's like it just doesn't make any fucking sense that she would go to that extreme. Like she wasn't even just like, hey, I'm unhappy in this relationship. It's just not working out. He hit me. Johnny hit me. I'm pregnant. I'm not really pregnant. Like it's like every fucking batshit crazy woman direction she should go down. She goes down every street at once.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking crazy.
It's random, completely random.
She snaps.
Yeah, well, yeah. In a weird, like, I still want to clean the house and do domestic things kind of way.
Still playing his birthday party. Yeah.
Yeah, still playing his birthday party, but she's like so unhappy that he hits her. Like, it's so weird, man.
Like he's
That's
just
all
like,
really...
I did not hit you, Lisa. I did not hit you. And yes, you did. No, I didn't. And he goes up and he's.
Yeah, when he's on the roof.
Oh, that was.
I
so
did not
bizarre.
hit her. I did not. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Like,
I'm just having a bad day, Mark.
Yeah, you should have a girl. Oh, you know everything about women, Mark.
You're an expert, Mark.
You're an expert, Mark.
All right. Anything else you got working?
No, that was it. That's just my main rant. Like overall, the movie was interesting to say the least. I don't think I'd watch it again, but I can definitely see why some people would see it as a cult classic.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's the room.
Cool. It's the room. Cool.
There's nothing
It's a
else
room that
like
should
it.
stay closed.
No,
Yeah,
open
yeah.
that room.
No, open that
I'm gonna
room,
live in
baby.
that
Open the
room
windows,
all
baby.
life.
Yeah.
I will run. I will stand in the way.
How do you guys remember the song?
I
Oh
will
my
run
gosh.
through a forest of flames. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my god, Ella.
All right, thanks, Orking.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. I'll
Thanks,
see you
man.
next
That's
time,
awesome.
I guess.
Yep.
See
See you
ya,
next
man.
week.
Thanks for coming on.
So, do you guys know that song from outside of the room, or
No,
Okay.
no, I just thought it
is
was
that
super
actually original?
ridiculous.
Is it an actual original for the room, or is it just a song they just chose for it?
I feel like they just went to Delilah's rejected love songs and just threw them in.
Delilah.
Like the songs Delilah wouldn't even have. Like they're just that sappy. Here,
That's
let's see.
funny.
Let's look it up. Music from the room.
Hold on, let me pull on Louis while we're doing this.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah. Louis, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hi, everybody.
Oh, hi, Louis.
Louis.
How are you all doing today? Have I told you how much I love Lisa lately?
You love Lisa. I love Lisa.
Uh,
Haha. Yeah.
Oh,
but she
we
just
didn't even
sees you
talk-
as a friend, Louis.
You know, one thing we didn't talk about was when Denny was telling Johnny that he loves her, and it's like that was the most bizarre.
She sees you as a friend,
bizarre
Danny.
conversation
How's
ever.
Rebecca? And then like goes on this other guy. He's like, I want to marry her. And then like he's like, why do you want to marry this other chick? You just confessed your love for
Weird.
Johnny's like fiance, and now you're like, I love Rebecca. I'm gonna marry her. Yeah, that seems fucked up.
That was the weirdest conversation.
So weird.
Yeah. All right, Louis, what you got for us?
well, I heard you guys talking a little bit about the Disaster Artist book, but one thing I didn't hear you guys mention is the Disaster Artist movie that has been
Oh
made.
yeah, by James Franco.
Yeah, starring James and Dave Franco as.
Oh, that's a real
What?
thing? I saw the images for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a real movie. I
Oh
see. I
my
sent
God.
Monkey Overlord some images to send to you, because there's it's James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, and then they have
His brother.
yeah, Dave Franco as
Yeah.
Greg Sestero.
Oh God, you should. I gotta share the image. I saw the images and I was like, oh, I think they're just dressed up as the two of them for Halloween.
Cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
read it- I read a review-
I gotta-
brilliant.
Let me find it.
I read a
Oh,
review on
it's so
Film
good.
Rejects that it's not that great though.
Oh,
Well,
that they
it's not supposed to. be
James
great.
Franco is a really good actor. He's a fucking terrible director though. Like I've watched a bunch of his
Oh,
movies
my
directed.
goodness, this
He
is
really is
awful.
just like it's like all his movies are just like mediocre at best. And
I love
if you
James
got a
Franco
different-
though.
I love
if
I
you
love
got a
both of them.
different
I love Dave
director, he
and
probably
James.
would've done it. Apparently, it just misses the mark on a lot of like the humor and the. There's a lot of like really like
Dude, right here.
touching and human
Look at
moments
this.
in the book, and apparently he doesn't really like nail that whatsoever. Yeah, damn.
Well, could Tommy Wiseau nail it?
I don't even.
Maybe that's on per. Wow. Listen.
He looks
I think
it.
I think it's great.
I think it's awesome.
There's another one where it has Dave Franco with the red sleeveless T-shirt on. I sent that one as well. It's got like some sort of watermark on it though. But no, it's on. It premiered like 3 or 4 weeks ago at South by Southwest. It hasn't come to theaters or anything yet, but on Rotten Tomatoes right now it has a 92% out of 12 reviews, I think.
That's
So
12
Gotta say,
reviews.
man,
That's not much.
That James Franco, man. I just love him. I just love that he does so many different things. Like you can just tell that hanging out with him would be fucking cool as shit.
It would
like,
be. I
He's
just
a
watched.
chill guy. He's like a huge star, but he's willing to do shitty movies just for fun,
I
or like just
just-
do movies with his friends. Just 'cause
Right,
he
yeah,
wants to.
exactly.
But he also ends up in these like these decent movies where he's actually like a really great actor. He just has such a spectrum that he can go to. But yeah, I don't know. I love James Franco. He seems like a cool guy.
I just
He does his
watched-
own art and shit.
I just watched Why Him. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, actually, I did.
yeah.
It kind of was like reminiscent of like the 90s, like 90s comedies. I felt like just kind of stupid 90s, like I don't know what I'm thinking of, like Tommy Boyish kind of stuff, like just kind of goofy, whatever, but kind of in a newer age. I enjoyed it actually. It was shitty and stupid and nonsensical, Why Him, but I did enjoy it. I laughed at like a lot of shit I probably shouldn't have.
It's funny. Bryan Cranston is also in the Disaster Artist movie as Bryan Cranston.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
Seth Rogen's in it. Allison Brie, Zac Efron. They're all in the Disaster Artist movie. And and it's I honestly I can't wait to see it whenever it comes
When's
out.
when's it coming out? Do we know?
I don't know officially when it comes out. Like if it's even going to come to theaters. Honestly, all I know is that
it's probably gonna get a limited release.
Yeah,
that's what's weird about James Franco's movies. They never get released like widely and in theaters. A lot of them are just like video on demand.
Mm-hmm. Which I will watch. I will demand all the video. So
good stuff.
But yeah, I described it as a masterpiece of trash. Is what I described this movie as earlier.
So yeah, it's like those artists that actually build things out of trash.
Modern art.
Yeah, actually, my mom did that for a while. My mom's like very artistic, and she went through this phase where she was making art from like trash that she had found like places, and she would make like really cool shit too, like sculptures and whatever, like using a clothes hanger to make like a body and whatever. Like it was crazy what you could do. But yeah, I agree, man. This trash. Wonderful trash.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Oh, apparently Tommy Wiseau actually makes a cameo in the movie too at some point.
I saw that.
There's so many people in the movie too. I'm just looking at the cast right now. J.J. Abrams, Judd Apatow, Zach Braff. A bunch of people just make cameos, I guess.
Dr. Morningwoody in the chat says, does Bryan Cranston play Denny? I wish.
That would be hilarious.
What was the name of the actor who played Denny?
Philip
or
something.
Has he been in other stuff? That kid looked a tiny bit
few
weird.
things. Yeah, the whole cast has been like in a couple things.
You're not his fucking mother. Get off his back. Oh man.
Let's see. Denny is played by Philip Haldeman, and he is played by Josh Hutcherson in the movie.
Weird.
So, okay, interesting.
From he's from all those the Hunger Games movies.
Right.
So, but it should be fun when that comes out.
Good deal.
I'll be sure to check it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely
check
it out.
I mean, I watch pretty much anything James Franco's in just because it's James.
Yeah,
Franco,
me too.
That especially will be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Louis. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take it easy.
I literally have nothing more to say about this.
Yeah,
film.
me too. I think we're done. We should talk about next week.
Just if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yeah.
Just watch it.
Yeah. Well, don't watch it now after we just.
Yeah. If they look up in your area if they're doing midnight screenings somewhere. They like a lot. They do it all over the country. That's the best way to get introduced to this movie. Seriously.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about next week. So next week is a TV series. Yeah, I just got a little bit blurry for whatever reason. Next week we got a TV series. We're back to that, and it's one that I picked, which was 13 Reasons Why. Oh my god!
You did. I almost said.
I always do this.
I almost said.
I always
before
do
we went live,
this.
make sure our
Oh
cameras
my
are
God.
on the last splash screen.
I don't know why I
almost
always
fucking
fuck
said it.
this up. God, it's crazy. But anyways, we're doing 13 Reasons Why, which has been a series that a lot of folks, or at least they've been doing a lot of PR for, just Selena and all, just the cast, maybe the last few weeks. So it's been getting a lot of publicity and people talking about it. So I figured it'd be good for us to talk about it.
So for those of you who are new to the broadcast, what we're talking about is this spoiler alert. I saw some people pop in. They're like, I'm new. I have no idea what's happening. What we do is we take a movie, a show, comic book, whatever really in media, and like a book club, we explore it. So this week, what we're asking is that you go and watch 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, and the next week we're going to get together and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to, basically just jump into it and have an open discussion about it, what it is, stuff surrounding it, if there's fun little tidbits, whatever. But basically have the conversation that you wish you could have with your friends online about movies and stuff, but everybody's so spoiler sensitive. You don't really get that opportunity. So this is kind of your safe haven to come here and discuss things. So hopefully this week you'll go and watch 13 Reasons Why, and the next week we'll meet back, same bat time, same bat channel, and we will discuss it. And if you want to call in, you can. And you're more than welcome to, or not. Do whatever you want to do with your life. But that's what we're doing here. So next week will be 13 Reasons Why. I haven't seen anything of it yet.
This one's going to be a pretty deep one, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to talk about.
I have thoughts.
I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts too. So
Me too, guys. I
Yeah,
have thoughts.
I can't
No, you
actually.
don't.
I can't
Shut
wait.
up.
I actually can't wait for us to have it done just next week's episode. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
I
go
feel
and
like that
check it out.
we're gonna debate a lot around like sensitive issues.
It's
where
going to be a lot of sensitive issues. Yeah,
like by
no
the time we're
question.
done, I'm gonna
Yeah.
like be like, these guys are fucking nuts that I'm doing this podcast.
No, or the opposite.
It's a pretty or the opposite. Yeah, it's pretty controversial apparently. So why is my camera so fucking blurry? What's going on?
It's just
here,
it's just like a little server issue, I think, just with
man? Weird.
but,
All right.
but
Well,
that's gonna be it, guys. Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten hour 45 here. I think that's pretty solid. So why don't we wrap things up? Diction, want to do some shout outs? Where can people find you?
I meet my Diction 1 on the Twitter and the Twitch. I'll be streaming in a few hours. Actually, during the show, got permission to stream Prey early, so I'm jumping on that because that game looks fucking cool.
fuck yeah.
And Elo, you said you played the demo and you really liked it.
I think I'm actually doing it. I think we're setting up a sponsored stream tomorrow. So
Oh,
I
really?
was gonna play it. I was gonna play it anyways, and they're like, "You want to do another sponsored stream?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play it." So,
You want to pay me to do something I'm already going to be doing?
yeah, hell
Sure.
yeah, sure. So I'm gonna be playing that tomorrow morning for sure. But yeah, sorry, Diction, I didn't mean to hijack your.
No, it's fine. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll go next then. Just because that's usually what Chan. I saw it on Chan's lips. He was like, Ellohime. Anyways, guys, this is my channel. Hi, I'm Ellohime. If you guys don't know who I am, this is not my normal every day-to-day thing. Usually I stream in the early mornings, like 4 a.m. Eastern, which I will be tomorrow. I just got back from Montreal from doing an Ubisoft stream, which was super fun. I had a good time in Montreal. Flew back yesterday. I was extremely exhausted and like hibernated. So there was no stream this morning, but tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., I believe we're going to be jumping into Prey and or doing some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds first. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But yeah, early tomorrow morning, we're going to jump in and we're going to have a whole bunch of fucking fun. So that's me. Chan Man, tell them about you.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Chan.
Oh, hi,
hi,
everybody.
Chan.
Chan, tell them about your dream.
My dream. Oh my god, my dreams. So what do I got? Actually, this is always the end of my week. So I think the rest of the week is mostly. I'll probably be streaming some Hearthstone. Maybe doing the Wild Heroic Brawl. If you guys are into Hearthstone, they made that open to folks where you can just throw away your gold and try to, gamble away your gold and try to get some huge rewards. Be doing that a little bit later. I always stream super late at night, by the way. It's like before Elo, in the middle of the night, so midnight. And you feeling yourself there, man? What are you doing there? You're distracting me. Stop it, Elo. Stop it. You're getting me hard. Getting me hard. Totally getting me hard.
Tell them all about yourself when I rub my nipples.
But no, you can find this all the VODs for the show on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ChanManV, or on Elo's too. We're both posting them there. So yours is what, youtube.com/just Ellohime, is that right? Okay.
Ellohime, yep.
Yeah, so find it there. You can find us on iTunes also. So if you want to listen to us in your car, you can do so by searching for Spoiler Alert. And if you want to leave a review, I'm just saying, leave a review. Helps us out whenever they type Spoiler Alert. They can find us much higher than we are right now. That would be wonderful if you could do that. And we're also available on SoundCloud and Google Play and all that good stuff too. But that's going to be it, guys, for this week. So for Eat My Diction, Ellohime, and myself, ChanManV, we'll see you next week.
Take it easy.
Later.
See ya.